Yo.
Hello.
Welcome to Dead Air with the PR Project.
Welcome to Dead Air. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a bad podcast name.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. What was the other podcast name that we thought about earlier?
We'll talk about it later. That's for a PR Project After Dark.
Oh, okay. All right. How y'all doing, man? I haven't seen you guys in a while.
I'm tired.
Oh, funny you say that, Gary, because the first time ever, look what my Strava. I had to take a screenshot. It's got a little man, a little hunched over bathroom man. You know, that's the same guy for the bathroom. He's fatigued. I don't feel. I mean, now I feel tired now that I read that, but I felt fine before. I felt before my wife told me I was tired. I was fine. Question for you guys: do you think that some of the watches tell people too much?
Yes.
Like when it says you're fatigued.
Yeah, like no shade to the one. There's a one brand in particular that would be like, this was a useless run.
Oh,
I don't think they tell you too much. I just don't think they give you enough context.
right.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like unproductive, but like unproductive in what way? Like what does that mean? Like the context really don't be there like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because some of these watches they'll come with their own training plans. So like, let's say you don't have a coach, you don't subscribe to anything online, so they don't know that you're actually in the middle of whatever because it's not like you plug the whole plan into that system. So like anything with technology, just take it with a grain of salt. Like after every one of my runs, the first thing I check is, what's the percentage they gave me? 98 or 100 or whatever. It's fun to look at, but at the end of the day, I don't even know what half of it means. Like your one was 100% productive, or okay, cool.
Yeah, because you don't know like the math equation that they use to get to the number. It's like I'll run the same run back-to-back days. It'll be practically the same pace, practically the same heart rate, but one of them will say 98, and the other one will say 100. It's like it must have been Tuesday.
You know what I take? Like it's like I take it as the Bible, the gospel. Strava AI. It's always so spot on.
I mean, once you tell it what it wants to know.
Yeah. If you say I ran outside today, good job running outside. Tommy.
Allen Iverson, he's a smart guy. What can you say?
I mean, who knew that after all that stuff and no practice and all that stuff that he was going to change the world as we know it.
It's crazy work. Shout out AI.
Shout out AI. But I mean,
actually, no, he was giving us clues. What was his nickname?
The answer. The question.
Yeah. Oh wait, he was the question.
He was the answer. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Because AI literally is question answer.
I think we cracked the code.
What in the who's and what's it? Man, I'm so glad that he didn't get busted for throwing those chairs in that bowling alley.
Man, it would have changed the trajectory of our entire lives.
Who knew? We did come to talk about stuff today. Oh, hi guys. PR Project, episode number 105. That's better than last week. Last week was like right out the gun. Seemed a little premature. What did you guys run today? If you ran, how many miles? Where you at? Say what's up. Ask us a question now so we can answer it for the next 72 minutes. Yeah, whatever you guys want. We got a couple topics we want to talk about, I think, today. We got some shoes we want to talk about. We got a couple of announcements we want to get to. But if y'all got questions like stuff that you've just been bugging you about the world and life and the planet Earth and other planets maybe as well, we have the answers for a lot of that animal kingdom stuff. We got it. So
maybe.
I mean, maybe
we're not AI, but we're close.
Yeah.
PR GPT.
Did you guys know that I was super quick with math?
Is it like your second language or something?
No, it's like say something. Like give me an addition problem.
4,709 plus 5,278.
7,206. See, super good, super quick.
He didn't say it was super accurate.
I didn't say I was right. It said super quick. All right, so now that we got that out the way, all right. JT says, GT says, how do you pick your race day shoe?
That's a good question. Talked about this today.
Let's take this one.
We talked about this today on our run, and I'm trying to figure out which shoe I want to race the Philadelphia half or the Philly Love Run half marathon in. And for race day, for one, I don't want something that I've never worn before. Obviously, nothing new on race day. I want something that I've felt fast in before. Also, something that hasn't caused any issues, because there are some shoes out there that you feel fast in. They feel good while you're running, but then you might have some issues later on from a hot spot standpoint or blister, toenail, many array of different things. So you kind of got to weigh those things. Also, I like to try to pick something that I have pretty good familiarity with, especially with multiple different shoe and sock combinations, because the sock thickness, sock material can really have a impact on how a shoe feels. So I say all that to say I pick based on the colors.
Long story short.
If it looks cool, then you'll run fast.
That makes sense.
Also, later this month, check in with Aaron on his March Madness picks to see which teams he's picking based on the mascot. Which mascot wins versus which one?
Actually, I picked based on which school was the most recent to integrate.
It's a lot of research.
Hey, if you're really doing a bracket, you got to do the work, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You didn't let black people in until 1971. You're probably not going to be on my bracket.
That's a good way to break it down. Good way to break that down. What about you, Gary? How do you pick a shoe?
I generally pick with what I feel is the best shoe out there. And usually it's a Nike, if I'm going to be honest. For a marathon anyway. If I'm picking like a shorter race, I'll definitely like look at other shoes like the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. Elite 3 is definitely a go-to shorter race shoe for me. I could possibly run a marathon in it, but right now the Alpha Flies and the Vaporflies have just done so well for me. I don't see how I would switch over unless a shoe company was nice enough to say, hey, do you want to run this race? You have to wear a shoe. And then I will be like, yes, absolutely. Because I can be bought. No questions asked.
Which one tastes better, Coke or Pepsi? Whichever one is paying me more.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in that boat as well. If kind of depends on what I'm going to that race for and who I'm going with. But for me, I mean, it's based on feel. Like we luckily get quite a few shoes, so we get to test things out. Whatever one feels the best. Like if I'm going to a race and it's like, hey, I've been really feeling this shoe, I'm going with that. But then also, I think it depends on like the course and the time I'm trying to run. Like some shoes would just feels like they'll do a little bit better in a half marathon over a full, or if it seems like it's a hilly course, maybe I'll pick something that seems like a little more stable, So like the good thing is, these companies want you to spend all your money on race day, on race shoes. If you are lucky enough to have, blessed enough to have the funds to be able to buy multiple pairs of race day shoes, maybe mix them up in the way that they look and feel and their purposes and stack heights and stuff like that. So you can have different choices for like a race. So if you buy all the same shoes, same, just different colorway, I mean, I guess you just got to go based on the look, but try to spread it out sometimes too, so you can have some diversity in your picks.
For sure. I think Aaron, you're on mute. I feel like I'm at a Zoom meeting.
There are people that kind of get married to one specific shoe, and I'm not saying that that's a bad idea, because if you find what works for you, then that's what works for you. But there's such a variety of everything you can imagine. For, like you said, stack height, neutral, corrective, whatever you want to call it, minimal, maximal. It's just so much out there to choose from. I think a lot of runners that started maybe a little before us, they kind of get tied up in the idea that, okay, this is my brand, this is my model, and this is what I'm sticking with. Whereas there's been a lot of innovation, there's been a lot of new technology, new ideas, just new overall products and options in the space. So I know runners, we can be super stubborn and we can be very type A about things, but like you said, if you have the opportunity to maybe check out a demo run or something, and try out a new pair of shoes that maybe you've never, or a new brand that you've never tried before, it's worth it, because you might fall in love with a new shoe, and that gives you more options. That doesn't mean you can't wear the one that you've been wearing, but now you have more options. You can choose another one as well. So
yeah, it's going back to the technology. It's kind of neat that some of these companies, like Salomon for one, are making a super shoe for those who aren't running 3 hours or below as well. So there really are a ton of options out there for folks. For a full, for the half, and and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's a good point though too. Like, and I think I think some of the other brands have done that. Maybe not like on purpose, but like there's like certain brands like Hoka that kind of stick out like that and have two different shoes that like two very different feels. So it's like you can kind of go based on like, what do I want? What kind of runner am I? Even Adidas has the the Evo 1, the $500 shoe, and then it has the Pro 4. Two very fast shoes, but then one is a much different feel than the other. Like one seems like the Pro 4 seems like it's a little more comfortable, but very fast as well. So it's like you just have so many choices. Like to both of you guys' points, so many choices. So have some fun with it too. Like don't just, I mean, not saying anybody here is stuck to one brand, but you might as well try every now and then. I mean, because there's all the brands have. The brands have caught up. The Alpha Fly to me is still like the peak, the pinnacle, really. And we'll see if like the Vaporfly 4 that looks like it's being teased out there in the world, we'll see if that like maybe passes the Alpha Fly possibly. But the rest of the shoes, it's not like you're buying a shoe and it's just like a waste. In the beginning, it was like, yeah, these are nowhere near Nike. But now there's so many great options. And like to Shannon's point earlier, Adidas has been winning some marathons for the last few years. So
yeah, and so is Puma, for that matter.
Yeah, Puma too. On the American side too.
Yeah.
Puma, yeah.
This is a good point by Shannon too. He says a lot of the stores have very liberal return policies too. You can try stuff out and return it. So yeah, take advantage of that. If you really want to check out what a shoe has to offer, but maybe you don't want to commit to it 100%, you just want to give it a shot, go in and see what the return policy is. Hey, can I take this out for a few runs? And if I don't like it, can I bring it back for store credit? Can I bring it back for a full refund? Figure out what the store is willing to do. And that'll give you even more options to be able to try things out and experiment with new models and new brands and all of that good stuff, and not commit your money to it. So, and then, if it's just store credit and you need a new pair of shoes anyway, give it a shot. Try a few different ones. And then if you don't like them, you can always go back to Old Reliable, Old Faithful.
Yeah. Steve McCullough said, any consideration for the weather when choosing a shoe? I haven't really. There's a couple shoes that are out on the market, or that were. Like last year, there was a shoe out in particular that if it was going to be raining, I knew for sure I wouldn't pick that shoe because I ran in a race that had, like, I went through a water station and it was pretty slippery. So I guess that would be the only thing. Like if you ran in a shoe and for some reason it was just the outsole was just made it a slippery thing. It just, if it's raining, then don't wear that shoe. But other than that, no, I haven't really thought too much about weather at all.
Yeah, especially when it comes to race day shoes, those things are thin enough as it is. So you're gonna get, if it's raining, you're gonna get wet. But you want a shoe that has definitely a grip, And other than that, it is what it is. You're gonna get wet, so deal with it.
Yeah,
deal with it.
Deal with it.
All right, Allison said Tank definitely lost that fight.
I didn't watch it, but I've heard things.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw like the weird knee that he took a knee for some reason.
Yeah.
Shannon said, "What flannels are the best flannel to run in?" I'm still on the journey to figure that out. I've worn some pretty. I've worn like my business attire on the old road the last couple of days, so I'm gonna keep that rolling and try to get some of the running brands, polo and not polo, but collared shirts to see what they're made of as well. Because if they're running brands, so they should have some better quality than the ones I've been pulling out.
The Ralph Lauren Trail brand, it's gonna go crazy.
Hey, bro, like that actually sounds amazing. yeah, bring it on, Ralph. But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep testing them out, see what we got, and see if we got some good styles out there too.
Have you seen the Tracksmith Rugby with the big rabbit on it?
That is on the way, sir. That is on the way.
Fire. Not gonna lie to you. It's not fire. Yeah. I'm not even a collar shirt kind of guy, but I saw it and I'm like, okay, y'all trying to do something.
Yeah, can't wait. I can't wait to rock that one. I mean, some other brands have some. I heard y'all heard of Rourke? ROARO. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I feel like I have. I feel like I've seen it, but
does it have one of the O's, like the two little things on top of it?
Yeah, I don't know. But they have a lot of button-up shirts. But I don't know. I think it's like a close to running brand, but it's like more like lifestyle. I don't know. But I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna see what we got. I'm gonna get some short sleeves out, soon. Hey, I'm gonna go crazy, see what happens.
Shannon said it ain't Ralph though. Somebody on Twitter said Ralph Lauren is unk wear, and I concur.
You said what?
Ralph Lauren is unk wear, unk attire, and I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an uncle.
So, I am too, but I'm an unk.
I guess that's where I'm just. You're not an unk. You're an uncle. Okay, got it. Got it.
No, I'm not.
But yeah. So let's while we talk about shoes, let's jump into this one topic. We haven't done this in a while. We've had a lot of fun talking about a lot of random different things, but today looks like we're in a good shoe vibe. Let's talk about our top 1, 2, or 3. It's up to you guys. Daily trainers, and if you could just say like what the shoe is, why, and I guess the why. I think the why should be enough. Gary, you want to go?
Why? Why? I got 3 that I rotate out with, so there's not like 1, 2, or 3 in terms of like this is one. I don't rank them, but like one of the shoes I've been using a lot is the Nike. Hold on, Romero 18. Let's move this out of the way.
Oh, got that colorway. I'm kind of heat.
Yeah, I think you guys got like a different colorway than I did.
Yeah.
But if you like the New Balance 1080 V13 or 14, this is like the Nike version of it, really. And I am not familiar with any of the previous Vomero, but this is a shoe I'll take out just for regular 8-mile recovery or 8-mile, I don't want to call them junk miles, but non-workout easy days, because they're comfortable. My legs don't feel fatigued when I'm finished with the run. I don't know a lot about foams, but I think they put 2 different foams in this one, like the Zoom X foam and what's the other one they have over there?
I think it's React.
React, yeah. So they put like both foams in here a little bit. It feels firm, but it's like the in my mind, it's like the 1080 V13 for sure, more than the 14. But I can pick those and know I'm just gonna have a comfortable run and not have to worry about any hot spots or kind of what you were saying earlier, like what kind of sock Socks am I wearing? It's just comfy all around.
All right. Well, Aaron, you got one ready? We'll switch. And then
I
we'll
do
come
have-
back to you.
I have one ready, but I don't have it with me. I didn't
All right.
come prepared for Gary, but
Just describe it. Describe it in great detail.
okay.
Hold it up. We'll hold it up.
Everybody close their eyes and we're gonna visualize it in our heads.
It looks almost like a shoe. If you've ever heard of those, it's like a shoe. But no, I had this aha moment a few days ago, maybe last week. I've been running on a treadmill so much, so I kind of tried to stay away from like max cushion shoes. But the Vomero does very well on the treadmill. I did enjoy that. But I've been back out on the road, and I realized I had a pair of. It's funny that you mentioned them, Gary. The New Balance Fresh Foam 1080 V14, I think, is the pair I had, and I popped them on, and it just felt like I was back home. It felt like I was back in the shoe that was made for me. I waxed poetic about how much I really love the 1080, and my love it has remained unchanged. I can say a lot of very nice words, a lot of very loving words about that shoe. It's reliable. It's cushioned enough to be able to take out for those easy days, like you said, Gary, where you're not trying to specifically hit a pace or anything like that. You just want to feel good. It's that. Also, you can pick them up for strides and do that. I've done long runs in them. I've done tempo workouts in them. Like, they're versatile, very solid, very solid. They could take a bunch of miles and super comfortable. So those have been, I've reintroduced myself to those, and it's been a really nice rekindling of our relationship. So I love that.
I did notice that there wasn't much of a difference between the 13 and 14. If anything, the 14 were just a bit more firm than the 13 were. Like the 13, when I first put them on, I felt like I was sinking into them. But the 14, I didn't have that issue. But either way, they're both just fantastic.
Yeah.
If
it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. Yeah. And they definitely stayed right in line, didn't make a bunch of big changes, and that was appreciated by me. I think I've had maybe like 5 pair of them by now. So super low. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs. If I had another thumb, yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of what's up, Nicholas?
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Gary said really quick, just briefly, so I don't have to go through the whole thing. But the Vomero 18 is a fire shoe. Like I had some Achilles issues going on this week. Threw these on for like 2 days in a row, or 3 runs in a row, just because they felt good. So I powered through with these. They're really great shoes. I feel like this is one of them shoes you can get like 300 plus miles on and probably still feeling them. But I'm gonna pull out the shoe. This is gonna be my addition to the chat, or to the combo. This is the Mizuno Neo Zen. Mizuno Neo Zen.
That's the shoe I had on today.
Yeah, yes, I love this shoe so much. I feel like when the Neo Vista came out, when it had this same type of like knit upper with, I mean, there is shoestrings here, but it's not. I mean, it's more of a slip-on than anything. The shoestring just kind of like tighten it up a bit. But I thought that was going to be an issue with like the heel counter and all that stuff. But this shoe is actually better than the Neo Vista to me.
Agreed.
Lighter, snappier. I feel like this is one of the most slept-on shoes I think out now.
And to kind of piggyback real quick, the Neo Vista was a really good shoe.
Yeah, really good. And I thought it couldn't when they showed me this one, or when I got this one, I'm like, same thing. And then running it, it's like, oh, this is not the same thing. And whatever they changed in it, I mean, it does have I believe this has like a nylon plate in it. But it's not like it feels like you're just in a normal daily trainer, but this is definitely a super trainer category. Really great shoe. Mizuno Neo Zen is fire.
Yeah,
and this is the bang for your buck. It looks sweet. People talk about it. It's a vibe for sure.
Yeah, I wore them for the first time yesterday on the treadmill, and I was pleasantly surprised for sure. Not because I had low expectations for Mizuno. I wasn't sure what it would be compared to the Neo Vista, and I would agree. It's an upgrade. It it does have a snap to it that you wouldn't expect because it's not like it's a lot of foam, but it's cushiony enough to it's kind of defying like logic, to be honest, because just looking at it, you wouldn't think it's as comfortable as it is, but it's really like a really plush ride.
But I mean, the thing is like that it's oddly comfortable, but then oddly good. Like in this, it's like that. Like all the really comfortable shoes that I have that you slip on, is like, oh, this is really comfortable. It's those days where your feet are just gonna drag. You know, like it's like, hey, we're just getting through this. You know, these shoes are comfortable for a reason. You know, these have like they're comfortable. I ran a 20 in these, a 20 miler in these, and it was super like pleasantly surprised. You know,
where is the shoe where that when I'm in the middle of a run, if I'm thinking about the shoe itself, it's a good thing. Usually if I'm thinking about the shoe in the middle of a run, it's because I hit a hot spot.
Yeah.
Or something not good. Today, multiple times, I just kept thinking to myself, these are really comfortable shoes. Like I'm doing 18 miles. I'm like, these shoes are great.
Am I
like,
standing on a couch? Yeah.
But how often do you, like in the middle of a run, think these are really good shoes, other than, because usually you want just not to even think about the shoe. You just want to get the run in no matter kind of what particular workout you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, these are the rare shoes where I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah, they're a vibe. They are a vibe. They are a vibe. It's definitely a recommend. Definitely recommend. What do you got? You got another shoe, Gary?
I got an older shoe from this past summer. This is the Puma DV8 Nitro 3. Puma DV8 Nitro 3. I gotta remember, but this is, I mean, it looks almost exactly like the super shoe, the Elite. But we got these early on last summer, so it's almost been 9 months. This is still in my rotation, daily rotation. It's just a comfortable, fast daily trainer. You know, if you want to like if you do want to pick up a bit or you got strides, I mean, you can't go wrong with these. And it's got a plate in it, so it's almost like a super trainer, but it doesn't feel like a super trainer. It doesn't have like that.
It's like a tempo shoe kind of almost.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like that large foam. I mean, it looks like it, but it doesn't really feel like it's one of those chunky shoes, even with the foam and the plate. And they comfortable on feet. These are the shoe like I don't think about. I just put them on and go, and I know I'm gonna have a good run no matter what.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
Well, I don't want to belabor the point of the Vomero, but that's kind of been my rotation for daily trainers is the 1080 with the 880 sprinkled in a bit. And then the Vomero has taken, I think the Vomero, I probably put the most mileage on the Vomero since we got it back at TRE.
Yeah.
I've put quite a bit of mileage on them since TRE. So they've been great for me for sure. And it's Zoom X Foam and React X Foam.
Yeah,
React X. Yeah, React X.
Yeah. And didn't I think the Vomero just came out like officially, right? Didn't they just launch officially to the masses?
Yeah, like the
first
day. Yeah,
February 27th. Yeah. So.
Oh, the 27th. Okay.
Yeah, a few days ago. So I would definitely recommend if you need something that's versatile enough to do the easy runs in, but still quick enough to pick up and do some quicker stuff in, the Vomero is a good choice.
If you just need a shoe that can give you a ton of miles without breaking the bank, like it's a good investment.
I actually hit over 100 miles in the Vomero so far, which doesn't happen that fast normally.
Yeah, and the Vomero is like a mainstay in the Nike product line. They're on their 18th iteration.
I had the 17, and it wasn't like this.
Yeah, this is my first pair of Vomeros, and I'm pleasantly surprised. But this is also the first Vomero under the new umbrella of how they restructured the rollout of the core product. So the Pegasus, Vomero, and Structure, right? I think.
Yeah. I've never seen the Structure in person. I don't think
the Structure has a cult following, though. I do know that the Structure is really popular with a certain sect of runners.
Okay.
And but I've never had them, so I wouldn't know. But I've heard a lot of like cross country and like middle distance track runners like
they like that.
Yeah.
I actually, it's funny. I just looking when you mentioned the 100 miles. I actually have more miles on the Pegasus Premium than the Vomeros.
Oh, really?
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you should have brought those out then.
I guess I should have, but I didn't want it to be all Nike.
Well, I guess I have. Maybe I have seen the Pegasus or the Nike structure before, but I just thought it was a Pegasus.
Yeah,
it looks just like a Pegasus.
I'm trying to.
I would have saw it and just thought it was like some weird, maybe a Pegasus model that I hadn't seen. Okay, they're at 25.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. I think it was their stability shoe at some point.
That makes sense. Or structure. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, one more from me, and then I guess we can move on. Unless Gary got another one.
Nothing we haven't talked about already.
So this is the Adidas Adizero Adios, or it's actually the with too many words apparently words. Adidas Adizero Evo SL. This is the daily trainer, or like the partner to in the Evo line for the Evo 1, the $500 shoe. That's why they made sure it looked pretty similar. And it also looks very similar to like the proto colorway of the white colorway of the Pro 4. This the Evo SL is like their first like stab at this new Evo line of a trainer, and it's surprisingly good. I think that we'll start seeing a lot more. There's a guy at the gym saw me with these on. He thought they were the expensive Evos. He was like, started talking to me about, I couldn't get them, man. I was trying to, and I was like, yeah, but these are the SL. This is more like a trainer. Like, what are you going to a race? He's like, no, I'm just like, doing these miles. I was like, yeah, try these out. If you just want to. 2 days later, like no lie, I saw him on a Sunday. That day I did the long run on the treadmill. The next Tuesday I saw him in the same gym, and he had these on. Like, so I don't know, he had them was overnighted or whatever. But he had his first run in, and he loved them. So this the Evo SL is a really great shoe. It looks sweet. I think this will be one of those ones that they stick with for a while. I think Adidas and Nike for a little bit seem like they kind of struggled with like in the daily trainer category. They now have like the Supernova, which is a really great shoe, but then this one as well. So I think that both Nike and Adidas are headed in the right direction for like some solid. I think you'll start seeing Adidas and Nike more in like the run club culture again, because they have shoes that you can actually put up miles in and feel comfortable, and look sweet.
Yeah, I think that going back real quick, the Supernova is a great shoe for the treadmill.
Ride. Oh, Supernova Rise. Yeah, it's really great for treadmill. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. I might wear that tomorrow, actually. I don't know if I'm going to the treadmill, but I want something. Some days you just need something like not minimal, because it's not a minimal shoe, but it's not a lot of foam there, but it's still soft. It's not a firm shoe.
Yeah, and like as we pointed out before, you're on the treadmill. It's already soft enough as it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right, shoes. Trail shoes. So, guys, if you've been watching Gary or mine or whatever Instagram, there's this moment where Gary and I ran with Ern. Ern had on trail shoes because it was snowing, and he felt invincible. So Gary made sure that he got this moment on camera, and he ended up remixing it. I remixed it another time, and then Gary fixed it again. So, are you about to play it? So we can hear it. Yeah, do that.
Trail shoes. What can't I do? Trail shoes. What shoes you got out today? Trail shoes.
So it's just it's just like quick snippet of this longer reel that Gary made originally. And what we're gonna do is this week we're gonna be announcing a giveaway of some trail shoes. We're gonna give away 3 trail shoes. Nike is tapping into. They're gonna give us. There's 2 new shoes that they're coming. 2 new trail shoes that they're coming out with. We're going to be doing a contest to give away 3. So look out for that. Now we're going to let you guys know because you all are here first. We're going to let you know like what we'll be looking for so you can kind of start getting the wheels turning. And if you want to go and find some trails near you, or if it snows, if it's still snowing near you or something, throw them on, make some content. It doesn't have to be a Nike trail shoe or a Nike shoe in particular, but if you have a trail shoe, get out there, make some content. When we post the challenge on PR Project Instagram, we'll have all the directions and stuff like that, but we want you to make some content using that audio in like that particular audio. So we can find it easily. Everybody's videos or reels will be under that audio. It's called PR Project Trail Shoes. We'll give you all the instructions on all that, but just kind of get the wheels turning if you want to be a part of the contest to win a pair of trail shoes that you can use all summer long. And then again in the winter time when it gets a little too icy. And if we're in Michigan, it's March 2nd. There's some chances that we'll probably have to pull out some trail shoes again.
Absolutely.
So if you're like us and you have some snow in your future, probably trail shoes are perfect for that. So just be on the lookout for the contest alert information and all that, and make sure you use the correct audio, which we will have instructions for as well. But I think it'll be fun to see people put some content together using that silly audio that we have.
Trail shoes.
Thank
you to Ern for the.
Yeah, that's the only credit Ern gets is that. Thank you to Ern. That's it. All right. I forgot what else we were talking. Oh, and then
we had a big announcement this week.
Big announcement this week. You want to go ahead, Gary, Aaron?
We are returning to Eugene, as we've already talked about, but we've got a special guest. First of all, we're on the main stage, which is exciting in and of itself. But we got a special headline guest, pro runner with the nickname The Buzzsaw, which was new to me. I don't know why I didn't know that. But Kira D'Amato will be joining the PR Project on the main stage in Eugene on April 26th. And we're really excited to be able to sit down and talk with her for sure.
Yeah, it's dope. I think it'll be really fun. She's a fun person. It's a good guest to have on a show. America loves her for sure. As she's had the half record. She had the half record, right? Or was that
she has the half record and the 10-mile record.
Okay. She still has the half?
And she did break the marathon.
She had the American marathon record until Emily broke it in.
But I still think she holds the American half and American 10-mile, if I'm correct.
10-mile, yes.
Half, no.
I thought she got the half in Australia at Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think that was...
She set a new American record for the women's half marathon by running the Gold Coast half marathon in Australia in 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 39 seconds.
Fast.
So we will try to keep up with her on an intellectual standpoint because athletically we are not built that way.
And the cool part about it is, I mean, she has a book that's coming out. It's called Don't Call to Come Back. So like if you're not familiar with Kira's story, she ran in college and had a little short like pro early career, I believe. Had some injuries, left the sport, started a family, got into real estate, started running again for some not mental health, but just to like get out the house and get moving again. Quickly saw that she was probably faster than she thought she would be. And then she always called this like her second running life or something like that. So she came back to running, got serious really quick, won some like local races, and then kind of like cranked it up. And her like breakout was like I think in 2020 or 2021, whenever the Marathon Project was. That was like a big PR for her. And then that's the race, I believe, that got her to qualify for the Olympic trials. And she competed in Atlanta. It was I don't know the timeline of it all, but that's how she and then after she qualified, then they moved the women's time down quite a bit, and she was kind of outspoken about that just because she thought it was a little too aggressive. But turned out that the women just kind of like took it up another level.
For sure.
Yeah, we talked about that too. Women's sports especially women's running too, is having a wonderful, wonderful moment. very long moment, and then I believe it's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if the running / content gods shine a light upon us, hopefully Kira will run a solid Boston Marathon, and we will be interviewing her the week after. So that would be really cool.
5 days later, we'd be interviewing her because Boston's on a Monday. We'll be interviewing her on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I was like, "Are you going to London?" She's like, "No, I'm doing Boston." I'm like, "Do you want to fly? Do you want to get on another plane?" You know. So yeah, hopefully she has a great day. She was with a coach named Scott, who was also the coach. Was that Scott Bosco? Who was also the coach for Alan Webb, who still currently has the outdoor mile, right? Gary, Alan Webb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was his coach back in the day too. So really cool guy. But then she needed a switch up. She's actually out with Ed Eyestone, who has everybody on his team. He's got Connor Mance. He's got names are just killing me today. What's the other guy's name? Clayton Young.
Clayton Young.
Yeah, he's got a whole team over there, and she moved over to Utah. But before she was training like by herself for the most part, people would jump in workouts with her here and there. But now she got a whole team around her, and she's with the team in some Olympians and all that stuff. So it's I'm really anxious to see like how Boston turns out for her.
We may have the first interview, long form interview that she does after Boston. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just don't mess it up, guys. We just gotta get real. We gotta get real serious.
We're gonna get. Oh no, it's gonna be a serious interview for sure.
Oh, real serious.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
You know us, guys.
All the hard hitting questions.
Oh, and McKinley, real quick, just side note here. McKinley said he signed up for the Detroit Free Press half.
All
Man,
right.
we might as well talk about it. Detroit Free Press. I feel like Detroit Free Press had a really great moment last year. Adding the pro field for the first time, or the elite field for the first time. Sold out super quick. Seemed like they elevated the experience for everybody involved. And they're like doubling down, and they want to be that in that tier 2, like Indy and Grandmas and all that, and CIM. They want to be talked about in those ranks, and I feel like they should be. It's the only race where you get to, go over a bridge to another country and then come back through a tunnel underwater.
Underwater mile.
It's the only underwater international mile in a marathon from Detroit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Detroit does this year. I think it'll be great.
I think they're already close. I don't know if you said this already. They're close to selling out already as well. At least the full.
Are you just looking?
Well, they posted the other day, and they were they said they were 87% capacity.
Wow. 87% already.
More
and it's
than,
only
more than 6 months out, and they're 80. So it says limited spots available. The Free Press Marathon and Supreme Challenge is 87% full. The International Half Marathon and the Wonder International Challenge are 85% full, and that was 3 days ago. So they are trending rapidly towards a sellout with quite some time. I know usually the cutoff is in September because if you are going to do an international event. So I think they need at least a month or so to run your background and do all of that stuff to make sure you're good to cross the border. But it doesn't look like they will even get close to that cutoff this year because all signs are pointing to it will be sold out within probably the next month. So if you are looking to run Detroit, if you are looking to experience the international marathon, international half marathon, you might want to spend that money and get your spot guaranteed soon. Because
be curious to see how many runners get over to Canada and are like, you know what, we're good. We're gonna stay here for a bit.
Yeah, fine.
This is nice. This is nice. Everybody here is real nice.
I brought my passport and everything. I'm good. So stay here. Sold my car.
Passport and whatever tax paperwork I need to find a job.
Sold my car before the race. We're good to go.
I got my whole wardrobe on right now.
That's it. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. I definitely want to plan to not be anywhere other than downtown Detroit that day. Last year was fun to spectate and then be a little bit part of the race. So hopefully we get to do at least that again, but at least be there to support the homies and the fam, whoever's racing.
I'll be there. I'll be there for sure.
All right.
Been there every year for the last 5 years.
I haven't run it. I ran Detroit Free Press was my first marathon in 2019. And then we did the relay in what year was that? 21? 22?
Yeah, 21.
21. But I haven't run it since and haven't even thought about it because it's always like in a weird space for us. Like if you're like trying to go after majors, it's a weird time. But I have no I'm not trying to really do any majors this year for like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. As somebody that's ran the domestic or US only half marathon, the international half marathon, the marathon relay, I've experienced pretty much every part of the course except the marathon, but it's a super unique experience for a race. Not many races go into multiple countries, obviously, and running over the bridge and then under the tunnel. They say it's the only underwater mile that you'll run. That's cool.
Underwater international mile is for clarity.
Okay. So being in the tunnel with all those people it's interesting. You'll get a good view of the recently completed Gordie Howe Bridge, which is the new bridge from Detroit to
when is that going to be done? Is that
done? Is that done?
And they're getting close. I think they said they're planning for it to be done in May. So
that's quick.
Yeah.
They started yesterday.
No, they started under Rick Snyder.
Yeah, it's like a while ago.
Yeah. So it's super fun. The run club is out there. We run 3-on-3 is always out there. Literally 2 different spots. Crazy energy. And Detroit is on the rise. So come in and experience the phoenix that rose from the ashes that is the city of Detroit. So super cool.
What's up, Mark? Mark said, "What's up, friends? It's been a while since I've been able to tap in live."
Mark must have started running at 3:00 in the morning instead of 5:00 in the morning.
Yeah. I know. Because it's a little colder, so he wants to start a little earlier to be as cold as possible.
Mark doesn't take ice baths. He just gets out at 3 a.m. in the snow.
Man, I still am like anti ice bath though, man.
I got a ice bath tub for Christmas, but I have not seen a need to put it up yet. Probably waiting closer to the summer.
It's been a while since I ice bath. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, you were religious for a minute. So so what I heard about it, I heard like that they're good for you, but people overdo it. Yeah. Because then you're like what's it called? The adaptation. You're like shocking the adaptation too much. Like you need to have some inflammation. You need to be able to build off of that. But if you're like jumping in the ice bath every day after every workout, after everything, like a lot of people are doing, you're just like you're actually like shortchanging yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I think you were only doing it for once a Sunday, like once every week, right?
Yeah, I was doing it this week, but I've began to embrace the inflammation. They say the inflammation spurs recovery and it promotes better adaptation. So I've kind of been on that train, but they say that
no Advil for you.
Nah, man. No.
Any
incense? No incense for me, bro. I we'll stay away from that one, but
we don't have to. So like this is a podcast. So the thing I'm sure everybody heard about it was like Advil had a campaign where they work with some influencers and content creators, runners, people. Like, we're all human here, guys, too. But it's like it was an Advil campaign where like people were saying that they use Advil to get through some of their tougher workouts or just keep them on the road, stuff like that. And then people did not like it at all.
No. Especially PTs. I think the PTs were the ones that came out the hardest against it.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. Like somebody who's in the health field ish, sure, fire off. But for the most part, what I saw was just people. Like I don't know if anybody. I mean, not that they were wrong either. You know, like I don't think anybody was wrong necessarily for saying like this is, you probably could have, somebody was gonna do it, but
it's like everything else you see on the internet. All of a sudden, these keyboard warriors are also experts in.
Oh my gosh,
ibuprofen.
You don't know. Somebody asked me, and like I put up a Ask Me Anything, and then somebody asked me about it, and it was Drew from Wear Testers, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably, maybe not, maybe that's not the best one you want to do, like, and I didn't really say much about it, and then people. Like the amount of DMs, I could not wait till that story expired. I almost deleted it because it was just so many people sending me paragraphs I didn't read any of them. I'm sorry if you sent me one. I'm not taking. I mean, I'm not. I know what I'm saying. Like people were just like, like I get it. Like I get it. But I did also say, like, look, number one, I mean, if you want to unfollow somebody for whatever reason, that's really your prerogative because you followed these people at the same rate that you can unfollow. You know what I mean? Like it didn't take much for cool video, follow. If you don't want to follow them anymore because they've done one too many of the videos you don't like, then just unfollow, or whatever. But I don't think it was I don't think there was a moral. It wasn't the best decision. I don't think I wouldn't have done it. Like. I'd like to say if they offered me a bunch of money, I wouldn't have done it. I've turned down money before. It's not like I just don't. I could see that coming a mile away. Like that's
what's your number?
My number to do an Advil.
Yeah.
Same number to do like a McDonald's ad. Hey, somebody. Hey, I would take a bite out of a.
It was Joe. It was the Wendy's ad. We saw that Wendy's ad at the on the treadmill, and Joe's like, "Hey, Tommy, how much you get eaten?"
Bro, yeah. So
how much to advertise a Dave's double?
Hey, whatever Wendy's, McDonald's, if y'all listening, 100,000, I'll take a bite of the burger, right? Hey, it would be terrible. That'd be terrible. But I guess like would I be able to like. I don't know. I just say it wasn't necessarily the best decision. I don't think. And then if you did make that decision, my thought is if you did make that decision, you did think it was someone's gonna say something back because like the people that they asked to do it weren't like new influencers like where they had like 10 followers. Like these are people with some big follower counts. So you thought about it and you made a decision. So if people come at you, also don't go like, yeah, like don't act like it like you didn't think about it. That's all. Just be like, you know what, like. I use it, guys.
Let's face it. We've seen content creators or run influencers do a lot worse.
Right, for sure. Yeah. But then also like I think we also in the Instagram thing and the social media thing we forget we're all like people and like we make decisions, but for many different reasons. It is what it is. It's not even that big of a deal for real because the thing is, people like I've heard many people tell me that they take them. Way before this scandal, but I've taken one before, like a race before, just to see because I was interested to see because somebody told me like, oh yeah, a lot of people do it, I wouldn't make an ad about it necessarily, but I think it was just one of those moments where like people are just tired of people whose videos they watch a lot.
Yeah, no, I think it's much ado about nothing. I don't think it. I think people are just finding ways just to get themselves upset, and there's a lot more serious things going on in the world than a runner taking Advil before, after, or during a workout.
Yeah.
Just don't take fentanyl. You good?
Bro, be running crazy. Steve said, "How is Advil different than ketones? Advil has been studied a lot more."
I don't think ketones is a pain reliever. For one,
yeah, I get what he's saying though. From like a moral standpoint, like, it's people that they sign up to do an ad for Advil, but and get all the hand wringing, but then they tell you to take AG1, and what's an AG1? Do we even know what that is? It's like, I know it's not like, you know, like
I think it's
thing,
I think the thing is Advil is such a mainstream product versus AG1 or ketones.
Seems like it's more niche, to like it's for like it's that it's Advil stepping into like it's just too much. Like
it's like when milk was like drink milk after your run. No,
they do. No. Wait, where you been?
But you know what I mean? Like,
but like, that I thought that was crazy too. Just I mean, maybe as a vegan, so it was like probably a little different for me to see it happen. But I think that's what I think the ketones comparison here. Sorry to cut you off, Gary. But like the ketones comparison to Advil is just like the wave of the ketone IQ thing, and like the way that like the influencers and the content creators that they work with talked about it. It just felt like too much, and it was just like, okay, another thing that we're just selling willy-nilly, and then Advil. It's like, oh, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was just bad timing for the people that picked it. But I think also they probably gained followers, and I think that some people don't care. And I think this, you know, the complaints are going to be louder than, you know, all the people silently following and moving on.
And to a point, both of the things kind of come from the same place. Like you post the ad because they paying you to post the ad, and then people post the criticism because they want the clout that comes with getting pats on the back for criticizing. So I mean, I respect you if you want to take a moralistic stance on something that could be harmful to your community and saying, no, we shouldn't be encouraging this. But also the pile on can be, it can get a little vain, because do you really feel this way, or are you just doing this for likes and retweets?
Yeah. So you can, you can kind of tell too. It's like, you know, I don't know. It's just every time one of these things happens, like the Matt Choi thing, and then this, and then when Ketone IQ was really like hot and heavy for a bit, it almost seems like I agree. Sometimes like I agree with the initial reaction, but then by the time it's like 2 days later and people are still like pitchforking it up, it's like, yo, I don't even agree with y'all anymore. Like, forget it. I'm with them. You know, like why are we still doing this? But I think people could have made a better decision, maybe all the way around. That's all. Yeah.
I mean,
it's not cancel worthy, that's for sure.
No, what it boils down to is if you are feeling pain, you're feeling pain for a reason, and you probably shouldn't take an Advil to run because you're feeling pain. You should probably address the actual reason why you're feeling the pain. So
that's the point. Yeah. And I've done it before, and I'm like, yo, I'm just going, and that's how I got super injured, because I thought that it would go away, and if I took this Advil or whatever, and then run 40 more miles, and you're gonna get hurt. And a lot of us aren't gonna be David Goggins and write a book or 2 or 3. So relax, go to the doctor, and get fixed up, and get back out, or rest. All right, one more hot take. Can we talk about my hot take that I put on Threads?
Yeah.
I really felt passionate about this. I thought about this on the run today, and I was gonna say it out loud, but I didn't want y'all to take my hot take. So my hot take I put on Threads was, let's normalize going forward for the next major marathons. If you aren't running it this year, don't post anything about your year you ran it. Let the folks running it get off. It's their time to shine. Let them have their weekend. What are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with that.
I think it speaks to a larger issue that we live in such a hey, look at me society. Because yes, that is, if you ran it in the past, that was your time to say, hey, look at me. Like now it's somebody else's time to get that attention and to get that recognition or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, if you're posting, hey, this is what happened when I ran it. Maybe keep an eye out for this. Maybe, you know, if you're providing tips or like advice on how to attack a race, cool. But if you're just like, it's that same vanity. Like if you're just posting it to be vain and say, hey, I remember when I ran the Tokyo Marathon back in 2012. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
especially when people are posting their post race photos. I completely agree with it. It's a hey, look at me. Especially the larger creators. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I know there are some larger creators who are posting like multiple photos of them in past major marathons on the anniversary of the current one. I just find that so annoying. Like, these people work hard. You worked hard how many years ago for that race, and you got a ton of attention. You got a ton of likes and follows, I'm sure. Let these new guys get up there and get their shine for sure.
Yeah. It's. I mean, if you're adding to the conversation, like, hey, because I've seen a bunch where it's like, hey, Tokyo Marathon this weekend. Here's what to look out for. I feel like that's a good way to jump, piggyback off the vibe and maybe add to it, because the people that some of these bigger creators, like especially people that are like YouTube video types or what stuff like that, are I follow, like if I'm a runner in Tokyo, I probably follow this creator, and if they're posting stuff like for me to look out for, through that weekend, that may be helpful to me. Like, so I appreciate you posting that, because I was like literally like looking for something to eat or wondering where to go this morning. You know what I mean? So like if it's a helpful thing, but it's like sometimes it's like those ones where it's just like you almost thought that I almost thought they were there. So I'm like, almost like good luck tomorrow, And it's like, oh, you literally just posting like some of your pictures from Japan. You know what I mean? But like if it's gonna be a helpful thing to add to the conversation, great. Like make sure. But I would really, as long as it's positioned like, here's for you, people that are there. Remember to do these things. Here's where I messed up. That's perfect. If you got to do it, do it. But if not, and it's just like, hey, I remember it. Good luck to everybody out there. Like, just say good luck, like in your story or something like that.
But even then, if somebody says to me, hey, I heard you ran Boston last year, what are some tips and tricks? I will more than happily answer those questions. But I'm also not one just to give unsolicited advice. Like,
I'm remember that next time you give me advice without me asking, but go ahead.
I never give you advice for anything ever.
But yeah, no, I mean, but like some platforms are literally all year round. It's that like giving information or sharing information or tips and tricks. So like if that's the vibe, then go off. But I'm not just talking about anybody, but just like sometimes like you'll see some posts, it's like, oh, you just were like, I want to be a part of it.
Additive. Add to the conversation.
Yeah, add.
Don't feel like, hey, I want to post this because I want to take some away from. I want to take some attention and take some shine and take some light because I want to. It's kind of selfish. Just be active. There to add to the conversation and not to take away from it.
100%. Well, good. I'm glad we talked about that and flushed that out.
Are you disappointed at all that we didn't disagree with you?
No, I figured you guys would. I figured you guys would agree.
Disagreeing with.
That's not normally how these chats go. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for keeping the peace here on the show here. But yeah, guys, everybody who's still here, you about to say something?
Yeah. Before we go, shout out to Tommy. He ran his longest run of his life today, and that's pretty.
Oh yeah,
pretty serious.
30 miles today, longest run of my life. That actually sounds kind of crazy. I didn't think about it until you asked me after run. Like, is that the farthest you ever run? I'm like, oh yeah, it is. But I mean, I've ran a marathon before, and I've walked the mile after New York. So I've ran, basically been on foot for 27 and a half probably. But 30 miles today. Felt cool to run with you guys. Got there a little early, ran a little bit before, ran with y'all. I think I would not have hit. I had 4 hours today, so I would not have hit 30 miles unless you guys were there, because a couple times we looked down, we're like at 750.
There's no governor on the long run.
All right,
just saying.
I'll remember that next weekend.
Next weekend I'm racing.
Wait, do it next weekend?
I'm racing the Rock CF half marathon.
Oh, Rock CF half. Yeah. I can get my long run out there, trotting around. You're doing the half?
That's all they have.
Okay.
Oh, they have a 5K. Yeah, I'm doing the half.
Half. Okay. Cool. But yeah. So yeah, thanks for that shout out, Aaron. 110 miles on a week, getting a little crazy. Anyway, listen up for the announcement about the giveaway for the trail shoes. That'll be coming up this week. So listen out for that. Get your thoughts ready to make some good content. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, make sure you check it out. We'll keep talking about it, but we'll have Kira DeMott on the show. We'll be recording it when we're there, not live, but we'll record it for the pod. So just stay tuned for that.
And if you don't have anything going on, swing by Eugene. Even if
Eugene.
You can come to the expo. Come hang out with us.
Not for nothing. Eugene would be a decent trip to not have to go run.
For sure. For sure. It's a beautiful place.
Good vibes. All right, y'all. We out.
See ya.
See you next week.
I'm going to go get some Advil.